Welcome to this episode of the Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth, a show that we live stream every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Comicstorian.com/Comicstorian. We took like 2 weeks off.
We did.
Technically.
Yeah, we did.
If you want to support us at twitch.tv/Comicstorian. You can also subscribe over at Tales of Earth on YouTube. My watch is buzzing me. That's very distracting. I'm going to turn that off. Professionalism.
Glad you let us know. Otherwise, I would.
You can support us over at patreon.com/comicstorian as well, where you can get access to early content. If you are looking for yet another way to support us, you can support us by purchasing Tales of Earth merch, like these shirts and other things. I think swag is what
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very specifically went out of my way. I almost wore something else.
Yeah.
But then I heard a voice in my head.
Is that?
It's funny. I almost came naked.
That's a creepy voice.
Yeah, well,
it's Cthulhu.
It's Cthulhu. Okay.
Cthulhu. That's why I had to wear this shirt.
Put it on.
I almost grabbed the Illuminati. I was like, not that one. The red one to the left.
Little known fact, I actually have a microphone and cameras put in your apartment. Oh, Dan, what are you doing?
The one above that. No, the
Bring Andy a beer.
Above.
Stop and get Andy a Mountain Dew on the way to work.
Dan, can you tell them your name?
I'm Dan.
Where can they find you, Dan?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dan2Producer or on Twitch at Silu91.
Or at his house. Andy?
Which is where I find him. My name's, oddly enough, not Andy. No, it's Andy, and you can find me at Brian the Andy on Instagram and sometimes Netflix when I say that.
On Netflix. Oh,
I
remember that now.
I used to just kept saying Netflix for some reason.
Netflix. Someday you're going to have a Netflix show.
And then I can say it.
And then
there you go.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm on DCUniverse.com. I can say that safely because I don't think anyone's going to watch it.
And I'm Gary. You can find me on Twitter at Film Circuit, Instagram at Northwood Films, and YouTube at Film Circuit as well. Yeah.
All right,
Today,
good day, everybody.
What are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk
Gary?
about? Well, we are going to theory craft or mystery craft or conspiracy craft. All the crafts. We should do crafts.
I've got my popsicle sticks.
I brought my noodles
and glitter.
Yeah. So the last time we did, I can't say last week because we didn't do anything last week.
Or did we?
2 weeks ago.
I still
when we
film
last
the show
did this
even
show.
if we're not doing it live. Yeah. I don't put in anything. But
Be careful. Google might delete your
That's
private
true.
files from your Google Drive, which happens, believe it or not. So we are going to craft conspiracies, and you are going to determine whether or not they are believable.
We
I also...
I like the idea that
we
they're
couldn't say
believable.
true or false because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of defeats the entire
That's true.
purpose
Yeah.
of it.
Because
Exactly.
if it's proven to be true, it's no longer a conspiracy.
Right,
Then it's just a
exactly.
fact.
Right.
And if it's proven that it's not true, then it's also a fact.
I mean, either way, yeah.
Once proven, it's not conspiracy.
My first one is that the Mel Gibson movie, Conspiracy Theory, also starring Patrick Stewart. And who else was in that?
Wasn't it Rene Russo?
Was it Rene Russo? I
think it was Rene Russo.
That is based on a true story. That's my theory.
I actually haven't seen that movie. So.
It's old. It's like early 90s. It's really good. My right eye won't stop twitching. But you can't see that. But I can feel it. So it's very distracting.
This is a very special episode for you guys.
It
That's the way
is.
I put it.
It's
Got to get back into the swing of things.
been, a mentally exhausting few months.
It definitely,
It really has been. So,
But yes, I am too young. I am way
young.
too young to have seen Conspiracy
you've
Theory.
seen Star Wars.
That came out in the 70s.
Yeah. I'm just saying. You're not
Yeah,
too young
I've
to watch
seen
something
it.
that's still available.
If you haven't
No,
seen
I
Star
haven't
Wars, I will leap across this table and beat you with this microphone.
I didn't see Star Wars until 1997 when the re-release was coming
I
out.
was 4 or 5, so it was 90, 91, somewhere around there.
Interesting.
Obviously,
I
didn't
don't
see
know
them
when
in
I saw. I
theaters,
think I
so.
saw them actually when I was in college because it was during. It was on May 4th,
Sure.
and Spike TV was doing their May the 4th marathon.
Makes sense.
So of course I had to watch the marathon.
This has nothing
Yeah.
to do with what we're talking about.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Or-
not at all.
Does it? Conspiracy.
Is the moon... Okay, I have a conspiracy. The moon is not an
Okay.
ancient Death Star.
Okay.
Okay.
But the United States government and some other powers that be, like the
Currently
Illuminati,
transforming it into an
yes,
ancient Death
because
Star?
they liked the idea.
It's pretty smart.
Yes.
What if we hollowed out the moon and made it into a death laser?
And we hollowed out from the other side.
That way they don't see it.
That way I don't see it
You
coming.
go,
They don't see it
in from
coming.
the other side. Yeah. You go around.
Yes.
You go in from the other
Yeah.
side.
They actually dropped off astronauts like 50 years ago.
Yeah,
They've just been there since.
That makes
Little
sense.
did you know, there's actually a string holding it so that you never see the backside. That's actually
Yeah.
why it rotates around and you
It's
never
there.
see it.
It's trying to rotate. No,
tiny
it's
little-
not.
No, it's not.
Maybe
like
they
that theory.
Maybe they started making that and they were like, "Oh no, people might get suspicious. They might go, that's not a moon." They're like, "You know what? Let's make a movie
Yeah.
and
Yes.
use that exact line."
Yeah. And it was actually Tesla who first initiated the concept, but he called it a life star instead of a Death Star because Life Star gets more support.
That's true. Yeah. Everybody knows if you use the peace star to wipe out all your
Or the
enemies,
Peace Star. There you go. The Peace Star.
it's a form of peace.
Yes. There you go.
Everybody knows that. You wipe out all your enemies. You
What
no
we
longer
don't
have
realize
war.
is that
Peace.
the threat is even more nefarious. Okay, it's more than just wiping out continents
Sure.
or certain groups of individuals. It's actually going to be turned and aimed at the sun. Self-defeating, I know.
I was gonna say,
But,
what's the point of that?
but it's a new Cold War
Because there's no sun.
because there's no sun.
This is a weird episode.
This is a weird episode.
if
Oh
anything,
my
we should turn the
goodness.
peace star on
Is
Mars.
the moon turning? What's going
turn
on?
it on Mars.
Turn it on Mars.
Or just
Yes.
aim it directly at Snake Island.
New
That's why.
Genius.
Yes, brilliant. But if you get that calculation off, because I mean the Earth rotates at about 1,000 miles.
Oh
an
yeah,
hour.
you got to take that into account.
Yes,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
missed.
Aim for
Oh,
Texas.
hang on,
and
hang on,
hope
hang on.
for the best.
Missed again. Okay,
I'll
I'm
come
gonna
back
get it
around
this
in a
time.
second. Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
Give it a couple,
No,
24
no,
hours.
not
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
getting
right,
it. Like you just got
Oh,
these
my
like
goodness.
massive craters littering the Earth.
You
That
know,
would be
I'm
amazing.
actually curious. Like, let's say that was real, that they were hollowing it out for a Death Star. I'm wondering actually how much of an impact that would have on the Earth.
A lot.
for,
Hollowing it out?
like the moon. Like
Yeah. Oh,
changing
gravitational pull?
distance.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I was
exactly.
gonna say you would be changing it. You'd have to match
The real
its
reason
density.
for climate
Yes.
change is because we're building a Death Star
Peace
on the moon.
star.
A peace
Thank you.
star.
A Peace Star.
I was gonna say the only way it wouldn't change is you'd have to match the exact density of the original moon using
Yeah.
whatever materials you're using to build it.
Interesting.
So for every certain amount of
Yeah, you'd
moon
have to,
rock you
yeah,
remove,
you'd have to
more
re-
steel,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah,
Interesting.
they'd figure it
Space
out.
science.
They're
Space
very
science.
smart people.
Science.
Hey guys, they're
Some
very
call
smart
it.
people hollowing out the moon right now.
That's
so
true, yeah. They're not a
they'll
bunch
figure
of
it out.
idiots up
I'm
there.
not worried.
Yeah.
It's at least 100-year plan. Yeah.
When did they start it?
The first moon mission.
Yeah,
They dropped
yeah.
off like 5 mysterious astronauts that we were not told
Or
about.
maybe they actually did one before, and you know when they
Oh,
sent
yeah,
the
yeah,
monkeys
yeah.
into space?
Oh.
They're the ones building this.
No, everybody knows
Genetically
it was-
engineered monkeys.
It was Russian cosmonaut dogs
Yeah.
and Lance Armstrong, the first man on the moon. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Who went to the moon and then started hollowing it out. They were the first. Yeah.
You know, to be fair, the human race did not actually win that race. It was dogs and monkeys that got up
Technically,
there
yeah,
first.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, which is sad.
Why?
This poor dog. Like, what are you doing to me? Like,
He actually came back
Just
down and
like-
like went to his friends and was
was
like,
like,
"Guys, you will
"Man,
not
believe-
believe where I went.
They
there
told
was
me-
this giant tennis ball in the sky. They sent me towards it, and then I came back and I was like, oh, it's just a dream."
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but I was
He
The
must have
next
been
time they tell
freaking
you,
out.
the next time they tell you you're going to the park, you're not going to the park.
The moon.
You're going to the moon. The giant
I-
tennis ball in the sky.
I still believe that Wallace and Gromit were correct that the moon is actually made of cheese.
That's where our cheese comes from.
yeah, and that's
I
why
don't know
there's
if I'd wanna
there's a
eat
bunch
moon
of
cheese.
craters.
Yeah.
It's because they had to.
That's
get
why
some
in the
cheese.
80s they initiated, what was it like? It was like called government cheese. So
It's from the moon.
it's from the moon,
Okay.
from NASA.
Okay, to specify.
Yeah.
From NASA.
NASA, which is a government organization.
This episode.
It's so
This
weird.
doesn't make any sense.
We
We're not
need
even talking
these-
about conspiracies.
you know what?
Now we're
I'm
just
trying to
battling
think of
We
some
need
other
these
conspiracies.
once in a while.
I wrote down some good ones. Hold on.
All right, let's
see them.
Let's hear these. Let's hear these.
I like
I only
my-
have two.
peace-
I mean, it's not like a
peace
ton,
moon.
but I googled craziest conspiracies to see what would come up. So I wrote down my two favorite ones.
Okay, let's hear them. Let's hear them.
Secret attack sharks.
That's an actual conspiracy.
this
It's
is
an
my
actual
favorite
conspiracy.
thing.
That's
Okay.
why that was the first
Okay.
one
All
I
right,
wrote down.
that's the end of the episode.
Secret attack sharks. This shark's not attacky enough.
As
we
opposed
need
to the
more.
non-attack
Yeah,
sharks.
no, but these are
exactly.
secret ones.
The
So-
ones that go, "Hello, I'm not going to bite you."
Exactly.
What are they waving? They don't have arms.
I know, but they're
They're
fin
fins.
waving.
Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm a shark with fins that can wave.
So after a series of attacks, shark attacks off the coast of Egypt in 2010, officials blamed Israeli government. From there, the theory spread online. Israel was accused of possessing a fleet of killer arrow armed spy dolphins and packs of sharks equipped with a GPS system that were sent to Egypt with an evil master
My
plan.
God, I hope this is
wow.
real.
I
hope
want
it's
it real
I'm
too.
sorry, that is.
I don't,
I
I
hope-
don't, I don't want it to
Okay.
be the Israeli government, but I really like to think
Yeah.
it's like a James Bond villain
Yes.
kind
Right.
of thing.
Yes, who's from Israel,
yeah,
but this
exactly.
doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
represent Israel. I like to imagine a submarine launching these sharks.
Like from a tube.
Like from
I wouldn't want to be
tube.
the dude who had to load them.
Little did you know, actually,
open.
the people that are getting these sharks are actually down in the Mariana Trench. That's why we haven't
The
ever
Merengue
actually
Trench.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Marinara Trench.
Yeah,
And they are deep in there, and that's why we have no idea what's down there and why it's so dark. And then every now and then they just sneak out a shark.
What were they called again?
Slowly sneaking them out.
Attack sharks.
Just
Attack
attack
sharks?
sharks. Yeah.
Okay.
They had killer arrow armed spy dolphins and
Sorry,
packs
I'm-
of attack
Killer
sharks.
arrow armed, like
Yes,
like,
let's hear this.
like harpoons.
I don't know what a killer arrow
I was
is.
picturing a
Yeah.
bow and arrow, a,
Just a bunch of
dolphin
dolphins.
under a.
I imagine they would have crossbows.
No, and they do a cute little flip in the air, which
Yeah.
which kind of disarms you. You're like, oh, look
Yeah.
at that dolphin! No.
An arrow to the
They
chest.
kind of slingshot, but with their tail, they do a flip and they just launch something at
Oh
you.
man.
My second favorite one,
Okay.
just because of how ridiculous it was,
Yeah.
was Barack Obama could control the weather.
I love that.
How do we know he can't?
That's why it's a conspiracy. So this was during both his terms. It was
Okay.
alleged that President Obama deliberately manipulated the weather to deflect attention away from the White House.
Yes,
may have-
because the weather
Yeah, that's everybody
makes
knows.
us
Yeah.
ignore
Wow, is it really raining
politics.
outside?
I don't want to hear about the news. Look at that weather. That's
In May of
Those clouds.
2013, after a mild-wide tornado struck Moore, Oklahoma, and killed 24 people, some broadcasters and internet truthers suggested the United States Air Force had caused the disaster on purpose to distract from a series of government controversies, is what it says. So technically speaking, then
he's saying
the Air Force can control the
I was
weather,
gonna say that's
not
saying,
the president.
I was gonna say because
Yes.
I'm picturing like Barack
Yeah.
Obama,
Like he was
weather
like
wizard,
with like a
waving his
trident.
arms
I just
around.
imagine with like a staff or something.
How cool!
Little
Yeah.
did you know when he ran around the White House that time, it was actually a special ritual.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Let's imagine
establishing.
this
Yeah.
for a minute. I want everyone
Okay.
to put on
All right.
your imagination hats
All right.
Yes.
and go along this journey
I can't
with me.
fit it over my
That's
hand.
understandable.
I always wear my imagination.
That's fair.
hat, so.
They are invisible. They're part of your imagination.
Yeah.
Wait, I shouldn't be able to see yours?
No, now you're just crazy. Anyway, stay with me here. You have recently become the president of the United States.
Oh, sweet.
Are you with me? Get there.
Yeah.
Okay. First day of office. You walk in, right? Oval Office. Oddly enough, it's square shaped. I don't know why they call it that.
The Oval Office.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, no, it's definitely an
No, but
oval.
How weird would it be if you walked in and it
You're
wasn't even oval?
Someone actually walks in and they go, "Wait a second,
minute.
this is a circle."
They measure it.
The radius is
Yeah,
measured
yeah.
all the way.
So anyway, you walk into the Oval Office for the first time, and they're like, "Mr. President, we're going to give you the launch codes for the nukes, and yada yada. This is all the explaining everything to you. Here's a binder, tells you what you got to do, yada yada. By the way, if you pull out this drawer right here, you will find your weather controlling machine, which will allow you to control the weather throughout the continental United States. That's key. You have no control over Hawaii and Alaska. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just the contiguous.
just
United
the continental
States.
United
Yes.
States.
Okay.
Okay.
How cool would that be?
That would be cool. It's actually in the shape of a fidget spinner. So like the circle is like a tornado. The clicking is hail.
And then if you go into
Or
the
like the
drawer,
fidget cube,
you'll find
sorry.
a device that allows you to control our spy dolphins armed with killer whales.
Yes.
Or killer whales.
This is getting
So-
better.
Armed with attacked
Yeah,
killer whales. They have them holstered.
So
Killer
I,
whales
yeah.
are actually genetically modified whales.
Yes.
If you weren't aware, they actually were created in the 1930s.
Sure. Makes sense.
And they
Okay.
just grabbed normal whales and they trained them in black ops. And just over time,
Black
like
ops.
evolution,
Right,
just
right, yeah,
became
yeah.
black and white killer whales that would just go out there. And everyone was like, oh no, these whales are very dangerous. We should call them killer whales.
Yes.
So that everyone else thought they were just natural.
I like the idea that killer whales are like the special forces of the whales community.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They're here to protect against the attacked dolphins and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
secret
yeah.
killer sharks.
And those helpless seals that you always see in that
So
one
every
video.
like world.
They're the spy. Little did you know, seals are spies.
They're just sea
yeah.
dogs.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. When do you go up to a seal or see a seal and you're like, man, I feel so threatened?
That's true.
Oh, never.
No, you go,
I was
"Man,
surrounded by them
let
once, and
me
I was like,
tell
oh, they're
you
all cute.
my
They're like
secret,
sea dogs.
seal."
Yeah, they're
You're
cute.
just ocean dog.
Yeah, I like to imagine that every major world government is just training sea creatures. Mm-hmm. Like, what have they not claimed yet? Crabs? Let's work on it. Giant crabs.
You know those crabs that hold knives? That's the prototype of
Yeah,
the,
there you go. Yeah,
of the secret crabs.
Yeah, but then you have the whole batch of killer whales that aren't quite killery enough. Mm-hmm. And so they're just
Well, I
they're
like-
the ones that
I
go
like
like they're the ones that go to like SeaWorld and
Sure, yeah.
The actually the killer whales, they eventually had an evolutionary split. The ones that were too kind became beluga whales, and that's why they're smiling all the time. So they're like, we don't have to kill.
we have
And then they made narwhals by just arming them with a giant
Yes.
horn.
You know,
Give this one a piercing horn.
the best part about all of this, for the record, is of all creatures to get militarized, I would put sea creatures at the top of the list.
Oh sure.
Well,
you never-
they
you-
have.
Exactly.
In the past.
No, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying is like, of all creatures, like, because we're making jokes on the extent of these, but someone out there is writing notes right now and they're like, ooh, we can put a knife on the end of a narwhal, make it even sharper.
Bigger. How's that? No, bigger, longer.
They actually now have a button to launch the
Sir,
sword.
we've created the narwhal. It has this giant spike on the front of it. He's like, I love it. Fantastic. However, can we add machine guns? Why? Why not?
Why not? Good point.
You're making out. I saw it.
Okay, I like this.
We have machine guns. We have narwhals. Obvious.
Do I need to continue my
Combine
argument? This is a weird episode.
So it was the first one was the attack sharks,
Yes, attack sharks
and then the second one was
Obama can control
Obama can
or
control
could
the,
control the
could
weather.
control the weather.
Yes.
And it's passed down to every
See,
president.
Well, so no, it doesn't state that. It just says that he could, but it says the United States Air Force was actually the one who could do that. So then the conspiracy should
he
be
has,
the
like-
U.S. president has the ability,
the authority.
to
Yes.
control the weather. That
Or-
should.
okay.
Let's correct the
Yes.
conspiracies.
I like Wizard Obama.
Or
That would be cool.
Obama is
Yeah.
a telepath. And because he was high up in the office,
Yes.
no one really questioned the fact that these Air Force people were doing this.
No.
Because he was in all of their heads convincing them that this was.
I'll tell you what it actually
normal.
happened.
I have another
This
conspiracy.
conspiracy
You have a
is
moment.
insane. I will
Yes.
tell you exactly what
It's
happened.
conspiracy evolution.
Yeah.
What
Well,
happened was
today.
This
Obama
is how it
actually
starts.
made a deal with the gods of the weather. You know, the north wind, northwest,
'Cause they're
south,
real.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
The
Did you say
directions.
north
I
wind,
did.
south?
Yeah. I was trying to say west. and
North
it didn't come
wind,
out.
south.
You know the
North,
weather, the physical
south,
weather.
east, and wind.
He made a deal with them,
Yeah.
and that is what allows him to control the weather. That's how
a
it
great
is.
idea. That's a
It's
great
not
idea.
the U.S. Air Force.
I think
come
of
on.
all of our episodes, this is the episode. This is one of my conspiracies today. This is the episode that is going to lead to this door being busted down. Of all the episodes, this will
Yep.
be the
It
one
would've
to.
been awesome if it just
This will be
happened,
the
just
one
for
to do
clarity.
us in, because we'll come up with something.
Something wild.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Something wild.
These are fun.
I have one.
like these.
I just
Okay.
thought of.
Go ahead.
Tell me if it's plausible at all.
Sure.
Walt Disney is not frozen. Well, actually, no. He is frozen, but his
Okay.
brain is still alive.
Okay.
and he is still controlling Disney through like an AI, like a mental connection.
They have
I'm
a
not sure.
giant AI and they just call it Walt.
I don't
Well,
know about you.
Yes,
My head
his
immediately,
brain is connected to a computer, and
see.
he is still controlling Disney.
My head immediately went to Tales of the Dark Multiverse when
Batman
Batman
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
put. Essentially, he is just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
brain
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
and
a little bit of his upper body.
a little
at
bit
that
of his
point.
upper body,
Yeah.
but he essentially is controlling the entirety of Gotham City.
I mean, at that point, why? I mean, guess keep the heart.
do- I
like,
do
your
actually
trail
keep the
like
heart
that.
like.
Why?
Yeah, I mean,
Actually,
We're gonna
see,
get Robo
I
Walt
agree
soon.
with this,
Robo Walt.
but I have a feeling that he was always an AI. And when people
Oh.
started kind of catching on, like, wait, why is he doing these certain things?
Yes.
All of a sudden he died, but they froze him underneath because they were like, ooh, if we freeze him, that'll make people think he's not an AI.
So are you
But-
saying that the Walt that always appeared on like the Disney Channel was like an actor?
Mm-hmm.
One of
Just
the,
hire
adva-
his
one of the
Walt.
It's
advanced
actually
robots
an
that you see
android.
at Disneyland.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an android, and every single time his AI gets passed down android to android.
Yes.
That way no one catches on. You don't have that weird situation where they're like, that person's not aging. No, they are. But it goes to
Yes.
someone else. So they're like, oh, well, clearly this is someone
Yes,
new.
I like to also like to think that maybe the old androids just become like theme park attractions, like the Abraham Lincoln at Disneyland.
Once they become
So it's
too
just-
self-aware,
it's just
they get put
Westworld
into
at this
the-
it's just
point.
Westworld. Disneyland is Westworld.
I mean, essentially.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's less sex, but not by
That
a
we
lot.
know of.
That
Yeah,
we
I was
know
gonna say,
of.
not a lot,
I don't know.
but-
I've heard some stories. Yeah, and that like all the cast members, the people on staff, they're just androids as well because they love their jobs
I can see it.
so much. Like,
It's all
I
part
don't
of
know.
a
What do you think? Walt Disney
cult.
is still controlling Disney.
And their
I can see that.
initiation is
Yeah.
getting an AI implanted in them. I like this.
You will become part of Walt.
Walt is the
I am
beginning of the
Walt.
board. Yeah.
I am Walt. You,
You
are
are
Walt.
We are all Walt.
Is that from something that I don't?
Then we just
That
kind of
was
started
us
doing
from
it.
us right there.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That was neatly
That was a
coordinated. That was
dandy
really
original.
nice. Yeah, I like it. I like it. We are Walt. That should be a
We are
T-shirt.
Walt. We are all Disney. I mean, realistically, we are all Disney.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
I mean,
you're a
you can't
fan
go.
of
You can't go
Disney, yeah.
anywhere without seeing
That
the
is true.
influence of Disney.
I mentioned it more
somewhere.
of like it's all part of our childhood, like a fun
is.
way. But no, yeah, let's make it evil.
Yeah.
Let's make it.
Now,
They actually eventually, the AI was starting to get caught on. And the way that they got rid of the suspicion was they started making the Disney movies to kind of convince people, oh, we're focused towards kids' movies. Ignore the people behind the scenes that are all AI androids. No. We're dealing with lions that throw their lion brother off into a stampede.
yes,
Because that's for kids.
because that's for kids.
Yeah.
I've watched
I
several
learned about
movies with
death.
my children where I'm like, this is G?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this is rated G. So did you guys hear about the kind of robot that the Walt Disney Company is developing to help replace stunt people?
Interesting.
Yeah, this is an actual
I actually
thing.
have
It's
not
actually
heard this.
happening. I'm not making up a conspiracy. It's like a robot.
Or is he?
It's a robot that is designed to replace stunt people. So it basically you pre-program a certain set of movements, and it does the movements. You can launch it like out of a
Right.
cannon or whatever.
Does that happen
How
all
do
the
they
time in
launch people
movies?
now? Like you can sling it across the sky, and there's no risk of this thing getting hurt.
So you
it
gotta have a
can-
stunt robot
like-
for when you gotta have your
Right.
killer dolphin.
Little do we
stunt
know,
robot.
this is actually a future vessel for Walt's consciousness.
Oh.
So that he can be more powerful
Right.
than any human being on the planet. So not only will he have more money than anyone else, he'll have more stamina and strength.
So you're trying to say soon we're going to be at war with the
Walt.
AI-controlled robotic army?
My head just
Of
went
Walt?
to
Of Walt, yes.
Nixon from
Yes.
Futurama with the giant robot
yeah.
body.
Yeah, basically. It's going to be that.
But it's Walt Disney.
Walt.
Interesting.
And people like, have you ever heard a true like diehard fan of Walt Disney himself talk about the parks and they'll say things like Walt would not like this, Walt would not be proud of this, like Walt would never make that decision. That's the beginning of the Walt cult. Mm-hmm. Yes.
What if
Walt does not approve of this.
What if it was never actually Walt Disney,
Oh.
but his son?
What is his son's name?
I don't know. I wasn't
he have a
even
son?
sure if he had a son or not.
Walt.
But it was
I think his daughters.
Walt
I don't think he actually had sons.
Disney.
Okay, what
Disney's-
his offspring.
I've been
was
watching the making of
actually-
Disney World, so I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
yeah.
he had daughters.
Yeah, 2 daughters.
Yeah.
2 daughters.
Diane and Sharon.
Well, it turns out
Sharon is the real mastermind.
exactly
The whole time.
they were the ones that were masterminding behind it. And then when Walt started to be like, no, like this isn't what I stand for, they were like, oh no, something seems to be happening to you. Let's do some brain surgery and definitely not put a AI chip in your head. And that's why the people that were true fans of Walt Disney now are like, this isn't what he would stand for, because it's not what he would stand for. But his children, on the other hand, you never know what they're doing. Plus, you never really know about them, so it's the perfect
It's
place
true, you
to
don't
be
really ever
because
hear
they
about
are
the
behind
Walt children, yeah.
scenes. No one really knows
Right.
who they are, so they can kind of do whatever they want, and no one would ever be the wiser because not many people know that he even had children. I thought he had a son. Just kidding. I just said a random
Bob Disney.
child.
Bob Disney.
Hey, you never know. But now you know.
Now you know.
And knowing is half the
Okay.
battle.
Dan?
The other half involves lasers.
Oh,
Well,
G.I.
lasers,
Joe.
lasers on everything.
They had lasers.
Oh.
the other half is extreme
It's
violence.
extreme violence. Death and dismemberment of your enemies. Do you have another one? I see you wrote 3 things. That's
Well,
why.
I'm just writing down things that are coming to my mind.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let's hear the rest of them. I like.
Okay.
I kind of like hearing yours, and then I just make them crazy.
Okay.
I
Here's
snowball
one.
your ideas.
It's not very fun or exciting, but all
give me
coffee in the world is drugged. Not that coffee is a drug, which it is. Anything that okay,
I was about to say, I'm
anything-
like, no, I'm pretty sure caffeine's technically
it
a drug.
is. Well, anything that like makes any chemical change to your brain is a drug. So food.
My
So
LSD is not a drug.
what?
What?
You're like, trust me.
Trust me.
Well, yeah, LSD stands for Loving Science Designs.
And the reason we're addicted to coffee.
should start a company name with that.
What is
Or
it?
LSD for short.
Loving Science.
I don't know why we're not getting a lot of traction.
There was a Parks and Rec thing. It was PCP makes it fun. Yeah. They like even made T-shirts. Yeah. It was like Parks something makes it fun. Yeah.
It's like Parks Community and People
Parks,
or something that. Yeah.
I like
PCP
it.
makes it
I
fun.
like it.
So the idea is that coffee, while yes, caffeine is a drug, caffeine is still something you can easily like step away from. You'll get a headache.
I don't know. I've
You'll
been
get
trying to
some
cut
minor
Mountain Dew
withdrawals.
for like 17 years now. So.
The point is, it is not a drug that you take and then like trip out of your mind on.
Right. Yes.
And as far as addictive chemicals, it's not like the highest on the list. My theory is that coffee actually is extra drugged.
So we're referring
so that
drugs
more
are put
drugs
into it.
more drugs are
Not
put into it.
Caffeine. Coffee specifically,
Coffee.
not caffeine.
Coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the drug?
Uh,
I need specifics.
addictorium.
You're a
Addictorium.
That
dictatorium.
sounded terrible.
You're a
You're
dictatorium.
I'm taking the Avatar approach to naming things.
Oh,
yeah.
unobtainium?
Unobtainium, yeah. I don't know. It's just drugs. I'm just coming
something.
up with this on the spot.
Okay.
I wanted more. I said like cocaine.
Actually,
the
PCP.
roasting process, yes. Actually, during the roasting process, they put PCP
Just
in the
laser
coffee.
right
Like
in
they just
there.
scoop it in, let it roast a little bit,
yeah,
scoop it
yeah.
a little bit more.
All right,
in.
let me
Yeah.
let me alter this a little bit, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So it turns out it's not actually the coffee itself that
Okay.
is drugged.
You.
It's actually Starbucks that is currently trying to drug everyone into essentially only drinking their coffee. In order to do
True.
this, they do not drug the coffee.
Which is why people say I need a Starbucks right
Exactly.
now, not a coffee.
They drug the cup. The inner lining of the cup
They
has
lace
a
the
very
cup.
light film of some sort of drug
What kind
that
of drug?
does
it
not
would have to be
activate.
white.
It's
Yeah.
Starbucksians.
Starbucksians, yeah.
Starbucksite.
But they have it in there, and it's a dried film of this drug.
Yeah.
So that whenever you have an empty cup, you don't like shake it and like powder falls out or anything like
Would be
that.
pretty obvious.
You're like,
yeah.
is that?
yeah, that's cocaine. My God, it's like the 80s all
Oh wait,
over again.
let me make sure.
70s?
80s, both.
Yeah.
70s
I was
and
gonna say,
80s.
what was the cocaine era?
No, 70s was like cocaine was with really hit like pop stars.
Yeah.
80s it hit Wall Street.
That's right. Yeah.
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 But yeah,
last night it hit my house.
Starbucks is the way that Starbucks is actually taking over the world. It's not
Okay.
because of people liking the drinks or anything like that.
Right.
It's because they have a very addictive drug that is in their cups.
Almost like the Colonel's chicken.
Exactly.
Also drugged.
Exactly.
Which
Those
actually,
are the
I believe,
spices.
was actually a theory a long time ago that,
Yeah.
that KFC was actually drugged to make it addictive.
With PCP.
PCP. They took the easy route. They're just like, just inject that. You got a guy in the
They were
back.
essentially just like,
yeah.
you know what? We just won't say how many spices.
Yeah, exactly.
We just won't give them away. They'll
won't
never
give
know.
It's like, so, yeah,
the
you're on.
drug is actually called a spice. That's the name of the drug. That
You got
they
a new
use.
employee coming in, like 16-year-old Tommy. He's like, okay, so what's my job?
Like you're gonna
Walks
add
into the back.
extra
Like you got to
urban
walk through the
spice.
whole bit. Like so, there's the batter station over there. We've got things thawing over there. There's oil, PCP.
just keeps going.
Just keep going.
He's like,
You'll
what was
be-
that last one?
It's
You're
like
oil.
oil.
So anyway,
You'll be on PCP duty. Just take the syringe and inject. Have a great day.
all right. See you later.
All right, see you later.
You're gonna do great here, Johnny.
Yeah.
Danny. Whatever.
And every time you do a little injection, just take a little bit for yourself. Like it's fine. I'll never
One
notice.
for you, one for me.
Skimming off the top over
Skimming
it.
off the top. Yep.
At KFC.
You'll never leave this job. Ever.
Oh my god.
I like it.
Do you like that though?
I like it.
Starbucks is
Solid.
I
controlling
like
with
through
a
the
drug
cup. I like that.
in the cup.
It's much more creative than sprinkle a little cocaine into the roaster.
Because
Yeah.
the nice thing about that as
It's
well,
not
when
nearly
it's
as
a
much
part
fun
of the cup,
though
is
for the roaster.
none
Yeah.
of the employees would know either because they don't make the cup.
Sure.
That's true. You would never
And
know.
when they get created, it's in a factory.
which I
People
find
don't-
amazing because my wife and I have coined this term called latte envy. It's when you see somebody with a latte and you're just
latte
like,
envy.
I want that.
got
You don't
a
even know
lot of
why you
envy.
want it. You just want it. It looks good.
Right.
And the reality is never quite lives up to the hype. That's kind of how drugs work. Like you want it and then you get it and then you get a little bit of a high and then you crash. And that's how the Starbucks cups work. You've heard it here. Starbucks cups are laced with something.
Instead of them being laced, can we say that they are just molded PCP?
It's like a mold.
It's just the
It's
whole
just a
cup.
giant. We waste a lot when people throw it out.
What's
but-
wrong with Sharon? She forgot to wear gloves when she was molding the cups.
So that way you get it, through contact, through drinking, it's in
Yeah.
the coffee.
when it gets really hot and humid? It just melts into the entire.
Yeah. Actually,
Melts into your mouth.
speaking of somebody who
Yeah.
worked at Starbucks, we ran out of cups a lot.
Did you ever try molding PCP?
No,
There's
they wouldn't
your
let
problem.
us.
Problem.
I don't know why
Yeah.
PCP.
So-
I always say PCP.
Yeah,
I don't know
why
why.
I don't know.
either.
It's fun.
It's a weird one.
What? It's fun to say PCP.
Maybe
I'm not
that's what
saying
it
that.
is,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, this is going off the rails. This is really going off the
I'll
rails.
start saying heroin.
It is not fun.
Oh my
I've been reading this book called The Shadow Market. It's really good.
Okay.
It's scary too. It's very scary. When you really start diving into how the world really works,
Right.
it's frightening. Like it is truly frightening how much power other countries have over other countries. Like
Well, yeah.
the power that China has over the United States right now, like, is terrifying.
Well, see, the nice thing about it, though, is the world's essentially a rock, paper, scissors game where someone has power over someone else, but they have power over someone else, and they have power over the person that had power over the person
Rock,
that
paper,
had
scissors,
power over
nuke.
them. Exactly.
I've been saying that for years.
Nuke wins everything. Except for the rocks. Those rocks will survive.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Cockroaches.
Some of them,
Yeah.
cockroaches.
Twinkies.
Rock, paper, scissors, nuke, cockroach.
He says that. Oh my God, that would be terrifying. I prefer a nuke over.
We got another
a giant
T-shirt,
swarm
people.
of cockroaches.
Yeah, move over.
Hey, it's coming. We're in 2020, baby.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's off the table.
I think radioactive exploding cockroaches is going to be the next big thing.
Radioactive exploding cockroaches.
Yes. Yeah.
Why are they
That's the
exploding?
next militarized. They're militarized cockroaches.
Oh, well, you didn't say that. You just made it
send
sound
them
like they
out.
were all radiated.
They're like
and
little
exploding.
yeah.
randomly.
They're like little dirty bombs. Just
Literally. They're
Literally.
Did
just
you ever
everywhere.
play StarCraft with banelings? That's
No.
essentially.
Is that pretty much what it is?
That would essentially be what
Yeah, you
cockroaches
kinda
would
rush
turn
and
into.
explode.
They
Yeah,
would
they
run,
would.
and then when they get near people, they would just explode.
They would suicide bomb
Yeah,
interesting.
without the bomb.
Yes.
suicide bugs.
That's terrifying.
It's like Starship Troopers.
Actually, you know what? I have another theory. The government's not going to bust down our door. They're just going to keep letting us do this because we're feeding them some great ideas.
I know.
Some guys like sitting there. Militarized, irradiated, exploding cockroaches.
Brilliant.
Fucking
You know-
genius.
There's some guy back there that's like, but what's their weakness when they get over control? We'll deal with that later, okay?
Somebody else is
We'll deal with that later.
A narwhal with a machine gun.
Yes. We still need
Of course,
to.
the narwhal is the natural predator of the cockroach.
Exactly.
I thought this was
The
common
war
knowledge.
of the animals. Yes.
This sounds like a terrifying
I also
future.
think that they are going to genetically modify earthworms to grow the more they eat.
That would be terrifying.
That would be truly terrifying.
be something straight out of
Exponentially,
bullworm.
yes, exponentially growing earthworms.
I was gonna say that would be that's straight out of Lovecraft
Yeah.
at that point.
But if that happened, would then the birds that eat them exponentially grow? And then would
Actually,
we get giant
it's called-
ravens?
It's actually called bioaccumulation.
Science, bitch.
Then I
Exactly.
need to eat the birds that ate the worms.
Like,
to
we're
make
never-
us
never-
bigger.
yeah.
Like the more I eat, the bigger I get.
And then the killer whale somehow gets a hold of me, and then we're all screwed.
Oh man.
Because obviously he would learn to walk in that case.
Sure, obviously.
Well, yes, because he ate.
Exactly. He ate someone that could walk because I
He
could also
ate-
fly.
yes.
Because I ate something that could
I was
fly.
not going to go the person. I was going to say because he ate a fish that was just learning to walk. It was evolution all over again.
He ate someone on land. Dan wandered too close to
Okay,
the
so-
sea.
You know the whole saying
Yeah.
you gain the powers of those that you consume?
I've said that decades.
I have a great idea.
I'm actually 100.
This is more of a skit thing. So time travel's invented.
Sure.
Okay.
We're gonna do a
And-
skit, everyone.
And a bird is in the building.
Bear with us.
Bird accidentally goes through the portal.
Sure.
They shut the thing down. Okay. We just had some
No big
external
deal.
interference. No big
Sure,
deal. It's
that's
just a
fine,
bird.
yeah.
Bird goes back in time. Swoops down, picks up the first fish that manages to make it to shore.
Okay. Wipes out all
Wipes out all mankind.
mankind.
Yes.
Or that's the real origin of mermaids. And the Mandela effect is sometimes them coming into our universe. And that's why mermaids exist.
because
Are you on the PCP coffee?
I mean the coffee.
Yeah, sorry. The coffee.
I mean, not the coffee.
Oh man.
I am definitely on the PCP.
I would love to
I-
see
I
everything
ate
that
a
goes wrong
cup
with time
earlier.
travel. Yeah.
That's what I had for breakfast. Don't you all eat Starbucks
Oh
cups
my
for
God.
breakfast? That is good PCP.
Like Bortus from.
It's such a episode.
This is such an episode. You're
It is
right.
a fun episode. I like
is.
this episode
It
because we're
is.
finally making up our own. Now we always make up our own stuff.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of a thing.
Okay, let's play another little game here.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna name off
Rock,
random
paper, scissors,
things,
lizard
and we're gonna
spot.
make not rock paper scissors nuke.
Oh.
Everybody goes for
cockroach.
nuke, and then it's just a cold war.
No, cockroach.
Cockroaches. Oh, rock paper. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna name off 3 things related to conspiracies in some way. So
Okay.
you're gonna say a
I
word.
was
I'm gonna
actually
say a
gonna-
word, and then you're gonna say a word, and we're gonna connect them.
All right.
We don't have to do this again. I just have an idea. This is gonna be a theory.
No, actually, I was also thinking of this.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Word.
In case anyone was wondering.
I will go with. I want to choose something that's actually going to be Subways.
Subways. Black
The
Knight.
sandwich shop or
No, the actual
tube?
Subways.
I just want to
like a
specify.
subway that is underground.
An actual
Okay,
subway.
all right,
okay.
An actual subway.
Okay.
Got it, okay.
Including train, tunnels,
Okay.
the whole deal.
Got it. Okay.
Built by earthworms that grow exponentially.
Everybody knows
anyway,
that.
okay.
Well, actually,
No,
the subways
okay.
are giant earthworms.
They pretty much are. Okay, so Subway,
Right.
Black Knight Satellite.
Aliens.
All right.
Okay, let's put this together. Dan,
So
go
I have
ahead.
no idea what the Black Knight satellite
We've talked about
is.
it before.
I know, but we've
It's a
talked about a
weird
lot of
one.
things.
It's
and a lot
that's
of ones
true.
that
We've
are very
yeah.
similar.
We talked about that really obscure thing once.
Oh yeah,
that one
one.
time.
Get your
Okay.
head out of your
'Cause
ass.
I'm all right. You know what? I'll just make it up myself.
Go
So
ahead.
there's a satellite out in space, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And in that satellite, there's actually it was just a satellite that they put out there. It was
Okay.
to test whether or not we could send satellites into space.
Okay.
The aliens.
So this
were
is
on their
during
way-
the Cold War.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And the aliens were on their way to Earth.
Okay.
But on the way, they were like, wait, what's that thing right there? And so they
shouldn't
stopped
have
at
that
the satellite.
Okay.
And they went in and they were like, this is weird. It looks kind of like our stuff, but we're not entirely sure. And so they started using that satellite to surveillance the entire Earth and realized most people lived above ground. So they thought, well, if everyone's living above ground, how are we going to get around without being noticed until we're able to acclimate and be able to blend in with the human population? So one of them, named the Black Knight, connected it, decided, you know what? Because we're aliens and we clearly have teleportation technology, we need someone to stay up here in order to activate the telepod.
Played by Martin Lawrence.
Obviously.
Yes.
And so they started to refer to themselves as the Black Knight, and they were the guardian of the telepod. Think kind of Heimdall with the Rainbow Bridge, right?
Okay.
And so in order to do this, before they started, they blasted the Earth. This was during the Cold War, so everyone was kind of like very, very suspicious.
Was it a test? I don't know.
Exactly, things like that. They were going, oh, they're testing these things. If we time it at the same time, they won't be as suspicious about the rumbling. So they eventually
wanted to go
did that.
Boom, not boom, boom.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Exactly.
Boom at the same time.
So eventually they did that, and they got teleported down, and they realized, okay, this is a lot bigger than we originally thought.
Okay.
We need to send some technology down so we can move faster through these tunnels. Over time, they ended up doing that. That's why you see a lot of weird people in the subway, because those are the aliens that were not able to acclimate to the human race.
Just couldn't do it.
Feel comfortable going above
Yeah,
ground.
couldn't do it. Okay.
So they stay down there. Eventually, over
Yeah,
time,
okay.
they started going, okay, we're able to do this here. We need to expand once again. But they had all come down, so they had readjusted. Here comes the Black Knight. He decides that he needs to come down to Earth as well. He comes down and he realizes, oh, people are starting to look at me a little weird. I need to create a persona. So he becomes Elon Musk. And that is the real reason we now have the Boring Company, because Elon Musk is trying to create bigger tunnels to allow his race to arrive on Earth and be able to transport throughout the Earth and monitor the human race.
So he basically took the "they're not doing it right, I'll do it myself" approach.
Exactly. That,
This is
as
ridiculous.
well as we have to expand upon what we
Yes.
already did.
Yeah.
We cannot be satisfied
You're
with
telling me
what we started with.
So he looked at them and he said, "You're telling me that you turned our tunnels into their public transport system?" Mm-hmm. Idiots.
Exactly. And that's why, like, we also have the Cybertruck, and why it looks so odd is because that is the style of vehicles that they originally had on their planet, and the types of metals and the way that they shaped things. And that's why he started doing that.
Okay. So things that don't seem to be connected initially are perfectly connected.
Exactly.
And it all comes back to Elon Musk.
Because Elon Musk is the
Is an
Black
alien.
Knight alien from the Black Knight satellite. What do you think?
He's gonna bust in our door now.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
In the Cybertruck.
In the Cybertruck. He's gonna come from out there.
Nah.
I like the theory.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
I got a little creative with
A
that.
little bit.
Yeah.
That's one way I put it. You definitely had your Starbucks this morning.
That's when you say, no, I had my PCP.
But yeah,
All right.
what do you guys think?
I liked it.
Believable?
I liked
Not
it.
believable? Compared to,
I mean, it's totally believable.
in
So-
the realm of conspiracies we have gone through, on the scale,
Yes.
what would you guys think? 10 would be
7.
Conspiracy theorists would easily believe this. We would jump on immediately. This is very plausible.
Sure.
Yeah.
1 is, okay, that's about the equivalent of it is a flat Earth. A pebble went through space and tipped us, and now we're screwed because we're falling off the Earth. That's
Did you
1.
guys see that GIF that I sent out? It was an asteroid hits flat Earth, and all. It was like what actually happened to the dinosaurs.
They just get flown
They
out.
get knocked off the Earth because an
see that.
asteroid hits it.
I like
did
it.
see that.
I like it.
Slingshot.
So-
It slingshots them.
yeah.
So on my 1 to 10, and this counts to you guys in our Twitch chat, because we do stream this live every Monday at twitch.tv/comicstory at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Nice plug.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. So what do you think? What You said it's
I would
seven.
was good, yeah.
I would give it a 6.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah,
It
it,
was,
starts leaning more into the like the Dark Fleet and crap, the ones that are basically sci-fi
Right.
novels and not
Right.
real
which
conspiracies.
are fun.
Yeah,
It's just unbelievable enough to be believable.
Sure.
Because real truth has that kind of weird, just that weirdness to it, like reality. Because you hear stories all the time, you're like, that's a real thing. Like that actually happened.
Right.
It's so
Ain't
strange.
been a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
I've
it.
got a lot of 7s in chat.
Seven.
So, hey,
Seven.
That's a
seven,
C.
7.
I got through college like that, so it works for me.
Most people did.
C's get degrees.
Okay. All right. How about I got nothing. Andy, come up with something. No, I have plenty of things, but none
What?
of them are good.
Come up with what?
Our solar system is real. Our galaxy is not.
Wait, what?
Our solar
Isn't
system
the
is
solar
real.
system within the galaxy?
Yeah, our solar system is real. The galaxy is a hologram.
It's a NASA conspiracy. That's the real
Yes.
reason Pluto was then declassified as a planet, because it actually started to get a little bit pulled towards the edge of the hologram.
Yeah, that's just
And
gonna give
they're
it
like,
away.
No,
That's
it's,
just gonna-
it's not
yeah,
a
it's gonna
planet
give it
So
away.
there
anymore.
are no other
Ignore
galaxies
that.
outside of our galaxy.
Nope. Our
Our
solar system is
system
it.
is it.
Our solar system
okay,
is
I
it.
see what you're saying.
So
now.
the Flat Earth Society is now going to finally accept, okay, the Earth is round-ish because it's not a perfect sphere. We'll accept that.
okay.
Our solar system is real. We accept that. The galaxy, no.
Huh.
The rest of the universe, nope.
Really?
We are a bubble universe.
I got it.
Which is physically a real thing.
Yeah,
Bubble
no, I'm with
universes
you,
come
I'm
into
with you.
existence all the time.
I'm with you.
We just, and time moves differently in our bubble universe. So in
Okay.
our bubble universe, there's only one star.
Right.
Or you can expand this theory. Our solar system is real. It's within a bubble universe. And everything we see is outside of our bubble universe, which
Okay.
we could never get to.
And they actually confirmed that because they had Buzz Lightyear who wanted to go to infinity and beyond, but unfortunately that was not possible, so they
he was
made
a
him
toy.
a fictional toy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, plausible deniability.
And they were exactly
Yep.
plausible deniability
Yeah.
through Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
Yeah, I connected those.
Uh-huh.
But nobody said Buzz Lightyear. I don't know what
Nope.
you were connecting.
Because
I
we were
connected the theory
No, we were-
to Toy Story.
Because I was referring to infinity and beyond, as opposed to if we are in a singular galaxy, that
Uh-huh.
would mean there would be no such thing as infinity in space because it is a finite size.
No, well,
That was the connection
my
that I
theory is
okay.
space
Right, 'cause
is
that's the farthest stretch
Right.
that we've ever had.
I just
on
feel
these
like Buzz Lightyear
podcasts.
popped into your mind. And you're like, I'm gonna connect these two somehow.
my theory.
Well,
Well,
for some reason, I thought he talked about the galaxy, and then I said
That's
it,
why
and
I
I'm
was
like,
like, nobody
nope,
said.
he says infinity and beyond.
Yeah,
you know,
to
nobody
the
said
galaxy
that.
and beyond. No, wait, that's not right.
To the edge of the galaxy and beyond.
Yeah.
But there
To
is
the
no
edge of the
there.
galaxy
no
and back.
galaxy.
Doesn't have
The
nearly as good
galaxy,
a
there and back again.
there and back again. A galaxy tail.
A galaxy's tail. There and back again. A Buzz Lightyear tail. Oh man.
Dan's like, I'm connecting random thoughts in my mind now.
Yes.
I'm now thinking. I just think of something, and then I go, all right, I'm gonna somehow include this.
Okay, sure.
Well, what do you think?
I think it didn't make any sense that you said Buzz
Yeah,
Lightyear.
I'm saying like in regards to the finite galaxy.
The finite galaxy theory. I mean, that is a real possibility. I don't know about the Buzz Lightyear aspect.
I mean, you never
Okay.
know.
Canada is not real. It's Montana playing a trick on us.
I like that one. That's a good one. No, guys, stay with me here.
There's a practical joke that went really far.
I'm gonna make a flag. We're gonna do a whole thing.
Yep.
But
We're
what's
gonna have
the
our
flag gonna
government.
be?
I don't know, screw it. Put a leaf on there. Our cops, we're gonna call them Mounties.
How ridiculous is that?
They're gonna be in bright red. It's gonna be hilarious.
And then they were like, but we have to make them sound different. But we
Right.
don't want to learn a new
Right.
language.
Oh, no,
Let's
that's a lot of
just
work.
Stretch out letters.
They're like,
We'll start with the letter A. Okay.
How about that?
Ooh, yeah, that's good, eh?
also Buzz Lightyear.
Also
Buzz Lightyear.
Actually, no, Woody was related to that.
That
one.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Montana cowboy. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the.
Yeah,
I like
Montana's
that. I
playing
like
trick,
that.
yeah.
That is a really good one. Why Montana?
I don't know. They're
That
north.
was just
They're
popped
north.
in your head.
There needs to be some connection to truth.
Right. Okay.
So they need to be our neighbors to the north.
I would have gone
Okay.
more with Alaska.
See, that's
Montana,
what I would have said.
Alaska would have been fun, too.
Yeah.
And then
Alaska would have been
eventually
fun, yeah.
other people showed up and they were like,
Like,
oh,
ah,
we'll
shit.
just kind of scooch over a little
Yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
And it's good.
So we actually have owned Canada this whole time.
This whole time, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Then a
Nobody
bunch of
knows.
French people showed up.
That's the president's
And
hideout.
we didn't want to do that.
bunch
of French
we're
people.
good.
We kid.
A bunch of French people.
Those,
showed up.
those of our French audience, we
Yes.
kid.
I kid.
We kid.
Or do I? That's the conspiracy.
Well, that's how they claim land. They just go there.
Nope,
and
flags on it.
And everybody else is like, yeah, all right, you can have it. That's like,
Ooh, we'll leave.
yeah, we're good. See you later.
I do really like that one.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Canada
yeah,
isn't real. It's Montana playing a joke on us.
yeah.
That would be hilarious. Because, like, what if somebody then moved to Montana and they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we're going to let you in on a little secret.
Yeah.
We-
What-
we-
Here
Yeah,
are your
joke.
passports. Passports?
Yeah. We've been,
It's
we've
like,
been
yeah,
playing
yeah,
a joke
so-
for a little while
So,
now.
what brings you to Montana or Canada?
What brings you to Montana?
Which one is it? Montana. Okay, Montana.
Montana.
Okay. Montana. Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay. That's how you come up with a great conspiracy
You
theories.
just
You just
off
take
the
one
cuff.
thing,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just combine it with another thing,
yeah.
and then it becomes a real thing.
I like it. I've got one.
Okay.
Okay, so Earth is the center of the solar system.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That was the truth. And then the
Okay.
church was like, we got to prosecute people because they said they weren't, right? It
Okay.
was all a global conspiracy.
Okay.
Pluto is, in fact, an egg and not a planet or an asteroid at all.
Okay. So we're
Okay.
talking about
An egg of what? A four-dimensional space whale?
Sure, yeah. Buzz Lightyear. I don't know.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So the toy Buzz Lightyear
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hatched from
We
an
just
egg.
start
Okay.
adding Buzz
Clear.
Lightyear into all conspiracies
Love
from
it.
now on.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? You
I
can't
mean,
prove
it
he
just
wasn't
makes
real.
it makes it sound more legitimate.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's right.
Okay, so the Earth is actually the center
The Earth
of the solar
is
system.
actually the center of the universe.
Oh, the universe.
The universe.
Okay.
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 Not just our galaxy.
I thought
The
Pluto
entire
was
universe.
the center of the universe.
No, Pluto's an egg. Pay attention. Jesus.
Pluto's an egg,
Yes,
but we don't know what's in it.
but we don't know what's in it.
We just know it's an egg.
Yes,
How do we know it's an egg?
because it's not a planet. Obviously.
Great. That explains everything.
Space.
That explains
If it's not
everything.
a planet.
It's an egg.
Everybody
We
knows
have an
that.
egg
Gary.
like going
was-
around us. It's not a moon.
Oh,
it's an egg.
man.
That's an egg too.
Yep.
Saturn's got
okay.
like 40
okay.
eggs.
Pluto's an egg. Pluto's like the. So wait, Saturn. So Saturn's like a mama
Jupiter,
bird.
yeah.
So they're really just big like reptiles of some kind
Pretty much.
in space, laying eggs all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yep.
Interesting.
They just take a long time to hatch.
I like it.
What if Pluto is an
like it.
egg and the other planets surrounding it, including Earth, are what it's going to eat?
Little
when
did
it
you
hatches?
know, it hatches in 2020.
It's a giant earthworm
Yeah,
that
kind of
grows
deal.
the more
yeah.
it eats.
And essentially,
Okay.
we are the maggots on what it's going to eat, which is just like extra protein.
That's why we're destroying
Oh.
the planet.
Yeah.
Because we're maggots.
We are decomposers.
Yeah.
In the chain.
If you think about
Yeah.
it, it actually works pretty well.
It does. It does. It really does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cameras actually steal souls.
Buzz.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
I added him.
Actually, they steal souls and they put them into toys like Buzz Lightyear.
Like Buzz Lightyear. Ooh.
Sure.
And to infinity and beyond is beyond the camera.
Okay. How about this? All toys are actually sentient, but there's so much surveillance now. There's so many eyes on everything. They can never come back to life. They can never move or speak again.
Just wait till
Sad.
October.
That's pretty sad. All
In
of mine-
2020,
I got
it
all
was
those Star
possible.
Wars figures that are just suffocating in those boxes right now.
Yeah. It's like we can't
They've
move.
been dead for decades.
We can't move because security cameras.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. I like that. I like it.
Still a weird show.
This is our
Okay.
weirdest episode.
The United
yeah.
States is a British
colony.
experiment.
I say the United States is a British colony. That
They
rebelled
say-
against the empire.
Yes,
Hold on.
but they
The
let
United
us think
States-
we won.
The United
They also
States
created
was
Canada.
the test run for Brexit.
Ooh, so it's like a centuries-long plan.
They wanted to see what would happen over 100 years
Interesting.
to see whether or not it was
It's
going
been
to
longer
be
than
a
100
legitimate
years.
We'll
thing.
revisit
However
Brexit.
many
I was gonna
years.
say we've been
Oh,
together.
no, at
revisit
least
it.
at least
Yeah,
200.
yeah, yeah.
So
I was
the
gonna say-
bicentennial was what? Like
Okay.
We're like
30
200
years
and something
ago,
up.
So yeah.
Yeah, up to this point.
We'll say 250, a quarter of a cent.
I was going to say, you're like 100 years,
frickin'
which means we weren't our own country for as long as we thought we were.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
other.
That's the
conspiracy.
idea. We're not.
That's the other conspiracy. That's the other part of it.
You got all the like the British higher ups meeting together. Like, so how is America?
I don't know. They seem to be going well.
They seem to be doing okay.
They don't know we've been
Yeah.
choosing their president
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them the
yeah.
last couple of
Little
years.
did they know they were then
Nice.
like, okay,
Yeah.
so we're good for Brexit, and then they did that, and then they kind of saw it, and they were like, oh shit, we should have waited longer.
Yep.
Well, how's Australia?
We're still shipping our prisoners there, right? Oh, yeah,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
They don't know it, though.
Yeah. We planted one
We
of
just
our,
drop them off on the other side.
we
of the
planted
island.
one of our most powerful spies, Hugh Jackman. And he's doing
jacked man.
he's doing very well in Australia right
All
now.
right,
Yes.
here's a different theory. Okay, so instead of the flat Earth, right,
Okay.
it's actually a semi-dome, and on the underneath is where like Australian stuff like that is. That's why they truly are upside down, and they get the different seasons at the different time because it cycles around the top of it. And we have to make sure all the prisoners that we send to Australia are
So it's like a
contained.
double-sided disc with a dome that rotates.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It'd be funny if it was a double-sided disc with just a dome around it. So it's still basically a circle? No, it's a
No,
double-sided
no,
disc.
no.
with a dome.
It's two halves.
So it's a double-sided flat Earth. So when you're
like a
when you're
globe
going to
around.
Australia, like be careful, we're going to experience some
Some slight turbulence. as we
very
get to the
serious
other side.
turbulence. Yeah.
We are preparing to slingshot to the other side of the disc.
Yes.
Everyone, please hold on.
Yes. Do not look outside your window.
It
under
will
any
be
circumstance.
terrifying.
It will be terrifying. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. Hey, why not? If people can claim the Earth is flat, why not a double-sided disc with a rotating like weather sky
Exactly.
made of glass?
And we're also
We're
on a
just
giant,
a giant
turtle
snow globe.
on top
Giant
of the turtle.
snow globe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get shake it up once in a while. Okay.
Hence 2020.
All right.
We got shook.
All MMO video games are a test to see how a real Matrix would work.
God, that would be so boring.
Oh my god, I've killed so many people.
If the real
true.
Matrix requires me to grind or kill 200 rats in some dude's basement, I'm out. Kill me. I
With
don't
a
care.
drop rate
Yeah,
of like
just- I'm fine with it.
you know,
I don't
1 out
even
of every
care.
10 or something.
Honestly, like let it happen.
Oh my
We're trying to make the real Matrix.
I've been trying
fun for
to. I've been
you.
trying to turn 18 so I can legally vote and stuff, but I'm still grinding away. The level is like the experience points needed is mind blowing. All
Yeah,
right.
like I hit level. I got level 16. Then I died and became 15
I was
again.
15 again.
Oh,
I couldn't
no.
even find my gear.
The plight.
I
of,
would honest that
future
would be
humans, yeah.
awful.
That would be truly terrible. That would be
I
truly
hate
terrible.
MMOs so much.
Oh my gosh.
Refrigerators are pocket dimensions.
Pretty
How
sure
do you
that
know-
one's from
No,
Ghostbusters.
that's the
Ghostbusters. That's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
Ghostbusters.
dryer.
Yeah. The dryer
That's why
is
we
a
got
pocket
it.
we
dimension.
lose socks and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
small
Everybody knows
articles
that.
as they
Okay.
slip
Yeah,
through.
that's fact actually.
When
Yeah.
you drive somewhere, it's
Yeah.
all a hologram as well. Except you can roll down your window and actually look outside.
But so then you don't
Yeah.
get anywhere. This conspiracy doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
no, it doesn't
This
make any
was-
sense. Yeah, yeah.
This is
This
going too
one's
far.
getting a
You're
little
tell-
far.
So what you're saying is all other conspiracies do.
Hold up.
Generally.
Makes
Hold up.
sense.
I'm fine with the
But then- so-
double-sided disc. That one works.
It's actually Buzz Lightyear that's running
Oh
the
my
MMOs
lord,
for
we
the
were
record.
Buzz Lightyear.
Oh my
Did you watch
goodness,
Toy
Buzz
Story
Lightyear.
last night?
I kind of want to now.
I know, right?
Okay.
And that was the conspiracy all along.
Thank you for joining us for the Buzz Lightyear cast.
Yeah.
Turns out we were
We so next we're gonna bring in a dry. Yeah,
This
gonna-
is sponsored by Zerg.
we're gonna bring in a dry erase board and we're going to dissect and decode to infinity and beyond. And figure
I
out
thought
what
you were
it
going to say
actually means.
Buzz Lightyear.
Oh,
he brings in
We're
an
just
action
cut
figure.
open Buzz Lightyear.
As you can see on the inside, he's a complex array of
You're like,
circuits
oh
and
my
batteries.
There's a full set of working organs in here. That's weird.
oh my goodness.
God.
That's a really terrifying Doc
All right,
McStuffins.
all right. Go ahead and just peel apart the thorax, and we'll find the alien pilot
Oh my God.
in the Buzz Lightyear action figure.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Well, I think
got
that
weird.
kind of brings
I
us
think-
towards the end.
I think so. Yeah, probably. Or
Uh,
does it?
we're
It does.
sorry.
It does. We're sorry. Well, remember when you go to drink a Starbucks coffee, you're
It's got
really
PCP in
you're
it.
really drinking like pure PCP.
You know, my conspiracy with that started off solid, and then the rest of the ones I started.
Yeah, you guys started
Yeah.
getting even. You started getting really bad.
Yeah, but you know what? I will take my Starbucks one.
Okay.
What
That
what
was
I what I
solid.
love
I enjoyed that
about
one,
your Subway theory
Oh, that was also a good
Okay,
one. I liked
okay.
that one too.
is that Elon Musk is watching us right now, and he's kind of surprised that one person figured it out.
Also,
He's like, they know.
little did you know his new child's name. That's a safety passcode, just in case something happens to him.
What's his new child's name?
What is this?
X
I don't actually know. I don't pay attention.
71.
Oh,
Look it up. It's a very
I
interesting.
didn't realize.
I was not aware that neither of you have seen this. Yeah, look.
I knew you had a
Look
child.
it up real
attention to
quick.
people.
It's yeah.
Elon Musk,
That's the name.
interesting.
That okay. That's
so
okay.
It's a safety code, just in case something happens to Elon.
Interesting.
Or it's a message, and he's trying to warn humanity, but he doesn't know how else to
trying
do it.
to get home.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
XAE-A12.
Yep.
All right, Jedi are real, but to access the Force, you need to take PCP.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the Mystery Cast today.
Hey, interesting. Yeah.
Because we're I feel like we're also
Wow.
running close to our.
We
card
are
limit.
hitting our limit.
Yeah.
We are just hitting our limit, people.
So I will
I'm gonna
let
go
you
get some
close
Starbucks.
us out today, Gary.
Thank you for watching this episode of Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth. Again, you can find Dan, a.k.a. the London Hammer, a.k.a. I don't know,
Dan T producer on Twitter and Instagram,
You know.
and Silu91 on Twitch.
his actual like usernames
Yeah,
or handles, whatever.
And you can find Andy,
Andy.
at one singular location.
Netflix.
My house.
Oh.
Oh. Well, that would be the singular
Yeah,
location.
that's true,
You could
that's
generally
true,
find me
yeah.
at. Also, for I Am the Andy on Instagram.
There you go.
Yes. And you can find me on YouTube at Film Circuit, Twitter at Film Circuit, and Instagram at Northward Films. We are not doing the Q&A next week.
No, but we do need questions from you
Yes.
guys, as well as if any of you think up some really cool conspiracies.
Yes.
We can also throw that into a potential Q&A or different video or something
Yes.
like that.
Send us your conspiracies. We'll comment upon them.
Exactly.
Ooh, yes. That's a great
It'll
idea.
be a C&A.
A comment and answer.
I was thinking conspiracies
Conspiracy
and
and
answers.
answers. Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
like comment
C&A.
and answers.
Sure.
Well,
I
because
feel
I
like
said
it actually
comment
stands
and
for
then you
something.
said a you said C.
Conspiracies.
All right.
Bye.
Anyway.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for watching.